All right, so up next we have Mr. Cleveland, the Assistant Program Manager of MDIS College, on the love language.
Communication forms a major part of our lives. Effective communications brings about strengthened relationships. Communication breaks down, cause people to drift apart. Hi, I'm Cleveland Au. I'm from MDIS College. Today I'm going to share with you something light, but something very close to our hearts. The 5 love languages. There are many different languages in the world. Whatever you've seen on the screen, you might know some of these by saying, I love you. There's so many ways of saying that I love you, but you may know some of these languages that's being spoken, but when one of these that's spoken to you that you do not understand, then what happens? There will be communication breakdown. Whatever you mean to say is lost. It is the same for communicating love to another person. Gary Chapman came to the conclusion that people speak 5 different emotional love languages. In order to communicate love, one must learn which language of love to speak. Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, states, next to physical survival, the greatest need of a human being is psychological survival, to be understood, to be affirmed, to be validated, to be appreciated. Everyone needs to know they are loved. It starts as a child and it grows into adulthood. Being in love feels this very important need of knowing that you are in love and you are being appreciated, at least for a while. And during the in love phase, you tend to minimize the flaws of the beloved. You think about them all the time. You want to be with them all the time. Then reality sets in. Things like, should the toilet let be up or down? Who does what chores? Where do you spend the holidays? Decisions on how to spend the money. All these questions are questions that will cause conflict to arise between people. So what do you do when the love leaves? Never be again with anyone? That's lonely. Have an affair? Well, even that excitement only lasts so long. Divorce or even break up, and then you start again and again every few years. I think this is going to be very tiring for any individuals that go through that. So is there a different and better way of communicating such that that relationship can last? Well, there's a better way to learn what your love language is. Learn what your beloved is, then learn to speak that love language. How many times have you seen couples fall apart? Just because of the fact that they don't feel love, they don't feel cared for, they think that the person is not caring about me, and this causes relationship to drift. Both are reaching out to each other in a language that the other does not understand. He brings her roses, but she likes help with the kids. He likes more affection, but she cooks his favorite meal. So all these are actually well-intentioned to actually show that love, but it is just not being appreciated or it's not understood. Like most people, each person is trying to make it work, but each person speaks a different language. Like a foreign language, they are not understood. There are 5 languages of love. The words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. We're going to explore each of these languages and see how we can effectively communicate this love language so that the other person who can understand that love language and feel that love from us. Love language number 1, the words of affirmation. These are words that shows you compliment someone, you appreciate that person. So it can be a praise of something that the person have accomplished. It can be affirmation of the character, but be careful that you focus on the who and not the do. The affirmation of the personality. So some of these words that you can use when you want to affirm someone of their personality includes like you're handsome, pretty, cheerful, friendly. Things that can affirm someone of their character includes honest, kind, responsible. When you speak this language, you are affirming a positive characteristic about a person. Included in these words of encouragement, you need to be wary of your tone of voice when you speak it. Be kind and be affirmative, be positive when you speak those words. Here are some of the other things you can say in real life or even over text when you text someone through the handphone to honor this love language. Hi, just checking in. This is one example. I hope you have a good day. Hey, I just wanted to say I'm thankful to you. I'm so proud of you. And things like, you're doing a great job. Love language number 2, quality time. This is the language that uses giving a person your undivided attention. Quality time spending with one another without being distracted with things around you. You're both doing activity together, both of you enjoy doing it, or it could be a case where one enjoys, the other is willing to do it. Basically just to be together, and this means also a time where you know one another, asking questions like, what do you think about getting opinions from the other person? No interruption, no giving of advice unless it is being asked for. So listen to what you are saying and respond. Be willing to share your feelings, wishes, and dreams. Some of the things that you might want to be very careful when you want to spend quality time with someone. Things like you do not want to even cancel or postpone plans that your friend or you have made with your friend, and things may not be that good if you let that person feel that, hey, I don't think you're important by doing the cancellation and the postponement of the appointment. And some of the things that all of us may be falling into, watch out, keep checking on your mobile phone when you're together. This is not spending quality time together. Some of the things that you might want to do and to really create a positive effect of this love language. And that is to show your friend that they have a place in your heart by giving them a slot in your calendar. Love language number 3, receiving gifts. Well, I think most of us would identify with this particular love language. This is the love language that uses giving a person a tangible gift or reward. I think all of us like receiving gifts. And the cost of the gift sometimes doesn't really matter. And to someone who actually received the gifts, they will feel most appreciated and most felt loved about when they know that, hey, the person giving the gift is spending so much effort and thought about preparing that gift, knowing that the person will really appreciate the gift. Be sure that the gift is something valued by the receiver, so it takes a lot from you who is giving the gift to understand what the person really appreciates. So one thing to note when you want to express this love language to someone who has this love language of receiving gifts. Give the gift to someone who doesn't really appreciate the gifts will have little impact. That means you are giving the wrong gifts, giving something that is of significance to the person. Sometimes it might even create an offense to the person who is receiving the gifts. Love language number 4, the acts of service. Acts of service is love expressed by actions. You put thought, you put time, energy, and effort into deciding what will please the person the most. Basically, to someone who has that love language of acts of service, they will just say, don't tell me, show me that you love me. Love this way may be shown as helping with various chores, such as cleaning the house, and it takes time and effort to decide what specific action would mean the most to the person. What is important to one may not be important to another person. The last, but I think all of us may be able to identify with this, the last love language of love, but not the least important, physical touch. It may include hugs, holding hands, a brief touch on one shoulder, or a brief kiss before leaving home. We all have a need to have physical touch in our lives. From the time we are infants, people who express love in this way has a greater need than others. What do I mean by this? Usually you see someone that's being a little bit more physical, you may want to observe that and know that that person might have that spoken language of love as physical touch. No matter what form of love you show, it's not really love, you're expecting something in return. Love is given freely in a way that the other person can understand, with no demands on the other person to get the gift back in the same way. Real love is not as much as an emotion, but it's a choice. It's a series of actions to express the important choice. You cannot change the past of a relationship that you might have ruined, but remember, you can apologize and make future difference to that relationship. You may be thinking of someone that is in that relationship that's not working well now. You may want to think about how to make that relationship work. Remember, we don't have to focus on the past, look to the future, and we can make the relationship work. This works in any relationship between two people. Love language is something that will help to effectively communicate. So not only must you know about your own love language, you should also learn about the love language of the other, so that whatever that you speak, the other person can understand. And sometimes when someone expresses a particular love language to you and you don't feel loved, hey, maybe that's not their love language, that's not how you felt appreciated through the ways, to the things that they do. Work at keeping their love tank full by showing love in ways that the other person can understand. So what's your love language? Is it the words of affirmation, the acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, or physical touch? It's quite simple to actually know what's your love language, because when someone did that thing to you and then you felt that, hey, I think I know I felt love, well, that could be your love language. But the difficult part comes. You might be thinking of someone of wanting to show that love to. What is the love language of that someone that maybe is on your mind right now? What things do they appreciate? This is some of the questions that you could be asking. What do they ask for? And what annoys them? This gives you clues. Try many ways until you find out what means the most. Sometimes there is a primary and even a secondary love language that a person may have. Maybe you don't want to show love in those ways. Well, you have to decide how important that relationship is to you. And don't let pride get in the way when you want to show love to the person. The choice is really up to you. I want to thank you for watching and tuning in. The love language is one of the enrichment program that we have at MDIS College. Not only do we want to let the students be equipped with the examination skill to do well in the GCE, O, and A level, we also want to use that platform where they enroll the course with us to equip them with life skills. You can find out more about our preparatory course at MDIS College at www.mdis.edu.sg. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that whatever I've shared with you will benefit you just how much as it's benefited me in relating to people around you and make that relationship really works. Thank you.